The sky above Earth was unusually bright that morning. Across the world, people stopped what they were doing to stare upward. Strange shapes hovered silently among the clouds. They were not airplanes or satellites. These were massive ships, unlike anything humans had ever built or imagined. Their metal shimmered in colors that seemed impossible, bending light in ways no human eye had seen before. In New Delhi, General Rohan stood on the balcony of the government complex. His eyes narrowed as he watched the ship slowly descend. "They have arrived," he said softly. Beside him, Myra, the chief diplomat, looked tense. She had spent years preparing for this moment. "We knew this day would come," she replied. "But seeing it, it is different. Bigger than I imagined." The Council had sent messages across the stars for decades, inviting Earth to join a community of advanced civilizations. Now, they were here in person. The Galactic Council, as humans called them, was made up of species so different from each other that it was hard to imagine any common language or culture. Yet they had a single goal: to decide whether Earth belonged among the stars. As the ships landed in the deserts of Africa, Europe, and the Americas, humans cautiously approached. Rohan and Myra were chosen to meet the leaders of the Council on Earth's central landing site in the Sahara. Military teams and scientists surrounded the area, ready for any kind of surprise. Though humans had powerful weapons, they were still far behind the technology of the Council. Their advantage lay in creativity, courage, and unpredictability. The first figure to step from the largest ship was tall and thin, with skin that glowed softly in shifting colors. Its eyes were dark pools, deep and unreadable. Next came beings with multiple limbs, scales, and shapes that challenged human imagination. Despite their alien appearance, the humans did not falter. Myra stepped forward confidently, bowing slightly. Rohan stayed behind her, hand on the holster of his weapon, though he hoped never to use it. "Welcome, people of Earth," the tallest one said. Its voice was calm, yet it carried power. "We have observed your planet for many cycles. We come to judge if you are worthy of joining the Galactic Council." Myra nodded. "We are honored. Earth has achieved much, and we wish to share our knowledge and culture with you. We hope you will see our potential." The Council's eyes swept over the humans with what felt like amusement. They had visited countless worlds, many primitive, many advanced, and many that failed before even reaching this stage. Humans, in their simple clothing and small ships, looked fragile. But there was a spark in their eyes that did not go unnoticed. The Council led them to a large, transparent dome that had been set up in the desert. Inside, humans showed the alien visitors everything they could: towering cities, enormous libraries of knowledge, space stations, advanced medicine, and technology that even rivaled some Council species in certain areas. Children performed music and art, showing creativity that could not be measured by machines. Myra spoke of human history, of triumphs and failures, of wars and peace, of humanity's determination to survive and adapt. The Council listened quietly, nodding occasionally, but their expressions were unreadable. They whispered to each other in sounds humans could barely comprehend. Still, there was a subtle sense of judgment in their eyes, as if they were waiting for humans to falter. Later, as the meeting ended, Rohan and Myra walked to a quiet ridge overlooking the landing site. "Do you think they believe us?" Myra asked, looking at the alien ships now standing silently against the desert sun. Rohan shook his head. "I think they underestimate us. They always do. Every species thinks they are the smartest in the galaxy. Every species is wrong about us." He paused, staring at the horizon. "We have to be ready for anything. We show them our best side, yes, but we cannot let our guard down. If they come here thinking humans are weak, they are about to learn something very important." Myra turned to him, her face serious. "Do you think they will attack?" "Not yet," Rohan said, "but if they try to control us or take what is ours, they will regret it. Humanity survives because we are unpredictable. We fight for each other, for our homes. And we will fight harder than anything they have faced. As night fell over the desert, the alien ships glowed softly against the dark sky. Below, humans slept uneasily, unaware of the full scale of the threat above them. But some, like Rohan and Myra, knew that this meeting was only the beginning. Earth had been noticed, and the galaxy was about to discover that humans were not what they expected. Somewhere inside the largest ship, the council whispered among themselves. One voice said, "This species, they are different. They may be dangerous." Another replied, "Yes, but they are interesting. Perhaps they deserve a chance." Rohan looked at Myra and smiled faintly. "They think they are testing us. Soon, they will learn that humans cannot be tested like others. We adapt, we survive, and we retaliate when needed. This is only the start." And so, under the bright stars, Earth waited, ready to prove that humanity was a force to be reckoned with in the galaxy. The morning after the Council's arrival, Earth was buzzing with tension. Cities were alive with news reports, scientists and military leaders sharing observations. Across the globe, people debated what the Council really wanted. Some believed Earth could join a galactic alliance and benefit from new technology. Others feared submission, sensing the aliens' quiet arrogance. In a secure command center beneath the Rocky Mountains, General Rohan stood over a large digital map. Red dots marked the alien ships that had landed across the planet. Teams of analysts and engineers worked quickly, projecting possible scenarios. "They think we are weak," Rohan said. "They see our weapons and laugh. They see our cities and think we are primitive. That is their mistake." Myra joined him, her face calm but serious. "We cannot act recklessly. The Council holds power far beyond ours. We must show diplomacy first. But we also need to be prepared for the worst." Rohan nodded. "We are preparing. Our hidden defenses are ready. The underground facilities, the energy shields, the AI control systems, all of it can protect humanity if they try anything." He tapped a holographic display, revealing tunnels, fortified bunkers, and defense grids across continents. "We do not need to match them ship for ship. We need strategy, unpredictability, and courage. That is human strength." Meanwhile, the Council's representatives held a meeting in the Sahara Dome. They spoke in soft, overlapping sounds that humans could barely understand. One of them, the tall, glowing figure, said, "This species is unusual. They show intelligence but act with emotion. Most worlds would surrender immediately. They may survive longer than expected." Another replied, "Yes, but do they have true strength? Their technology is primitive compared to ours. One fleet could destroy them in minutes. They are amusing." But even among themselves, a sense of caution was growing. Humans had resilience, a quality that could not be measured by sensors or star charts. The Council did not yet know the full extent of human determination. Back on Earth, Rohan and Myra visited one of the landing sites to meet with the local commanders and scientists. The air was tense, but humans worked together calmly. Engineers studied alien ships, noting their design, energy patterns, and possible weaknesses. Soldiers practiced drills, combining conventional tactics with creative solutions. "We cannot rely on fear," Rohan said. "We fight with brains and bravery. Humans always adapt, and that is why we survive." At night, reports came in from the deserts of Africa. Scouts had detected small Council drones patrolling nearby territories. They appeared harmless, but humans knew better. The Council was testing boundaries, measuring reactions, and searching for weaknesses. Some local communities had already begun training in defensive maneuvers, inspired by Rohan's speeches and leadership. Myra worked on diplomatic channels, sending messages to the Council. She spoke with clarity and calm. "We welcome you, but we cannot allow our resources or people to be taken without consent. Humanity values cooperation, but not submission. We hope your intentions are respectful. The council responded, their words smooth and cold. We do not seek conflict. We only ask for Earth's integration into the Galactic Council. Your cooperation will ensure your continued prosperity. But humans sensed the subtle threat behind the words. Rohan addressed the council's representative directly. Cooperation is a choice, not a demand. If you push too far, you will discover that humans do not give in easily. The aliens studied him silently, their expressions unreadable. Myra stepped beside Rohan. We are willing to negotiate. We are willing to share knowledge. But Earth is ours, and we will protect it at all costs. Days passed, and tensions grew. The council continued to explore, observe, and make small demands. Each time, humans responded with calm resistance, refusing to bow to pressure. Secretly, Rohan coordinated with engineers to test defensive systems. Energy shields glimmered underground, AI networks simulated attack patterns, and specially designed drones trained for rapid response. Even ordinary citizens were involved. Volunteers prepared emergency shelters, studied basic survival skills, and practiced communication drills. Across the world, humanity united in quiet determination. No matter how advanced the Council's technology was, humans had something that could not be measured: courage, creativity, and unity. One evening, Myra and Rohan returned to the command center. Do you think they understand us yet? Myra asked. Rohan shook his head slowly. Not fully. They see our cities, our weapons, and our scientists. They think that is all we are. They do not yet see the human spirit. That is our secret strength. When they realize we will not surrender, they will be surprised. Myra looked out at the night sky, where the alien ships hovered silently. We must hope their lesson comes slowly, she said. Rohan smiled faintly. Lessons are better learned before it is too late. And if they test us, they will find that humans fight with every ounce of courage we have. That is the way we survive. That is the way we win. And so, Earth prepared quietly. The Council observed with mild amusement, unaware that their arrogance was being met with strategy, resilience, and the determination of a species that refused to be underestimated. Humanity was ready. The galaxy had yet to see what it was about to face. The first signs of trouble appeared at the edge of the Amazon rainforest. A small Council scout ship descended silently, scanning the area where humans had built a research outpost. Scientists and engineers were working on environmental projects, unaware that they were being observed. The Council had not yet seen humans act with full unity, and they assumed the outpost would surrender easily. Inside the outpost, a young engineer named Leo noticed strange energy readings on the monitors. Something's approaching, he said, pointing to the swirling lights above the canopy. Other team members gathered, fear in their eyes. It looks like one of their ships, said Anna, a botanist who had spent years studying the rainforest. What do we do? Before anyone could answer, the scout ship projected a beam over the outpost, scanning equipment and people. Leo's hands flew over the controls, sending a warning signal to the nearest human command center. They are testing us, he said. We cannot just wait. Back in the Rocky Mountains command center, Rohan and Myra received the alert immediately. They've sent a scout, Rohan said. It is a provocation. We need to see how humans respond under pressure. Rohan tapped the display, showing the scout's movements. Send instructions to the outpost, he said. Use your training. Do not panic. Fight smart, fight together. The humans at the outpost did not hesitate. Using improvised shields, energy emitters, and environmental traps, they forced the scout to retreat temporarily. Vines, rocks, and controlled explosions slowed its movements. The Council had underestimated human ingenuity. Even a small group of humans could turn the forest into a maze of defenses. The scout tried to adapt, using advanced scanners and drones, but humans moved unpredictably, using the terrain to their advantage. Leo and Anna led teams that directed the scouts away from civilians. Every step, every action was careful but courageous. The outpost had no advanced weapons like the Council's fleet, but they had intelligence, teamwork, and determination qualities that could not be measured by technology. When the command center received the transmission, Myra's eyes widened. They are not only defending themselves. They are outsmarting the scout. This is impressive. Rohan nodded. This is why the Council does not understand humans. They see weapons and ships. They do not see the human spirit. Humans adapt. Humans endure. Humans fight for each other. That is our real strength. Meanwhile, the Council's observers were shocked. They had never seen a species resist so quickly and so cleverly. One alien whispered to another, "They are unpredictable. Their actions do not follow logic." Another replied, "Yes, but that makes them dangerous. Perhaps we underestimated them." Back at the outpost, Leo and Anna worked tirelessly. Using the scout ship's energy patterns, they created interference that forced it to land temporarily. Small teams moved quickly, disabling parts of its sensors and communication devices. By the time the scout managed to lift off, it was damaged enough to be recalled to the main fleet. When the Council analyzed the incident, they realized that humans had united in a way no other species had ever done. Even a small outpost could coordinate, plan, and execute a defense that confused and delayed an advanced alien ship. Humanity's courage and adaptability became immediately clear. Rohan addressed the command center team. "This is what I mean. Even with limited resources, humans can stand against much greater power. They will never surrender easily. They fight for their homes, their families, and their planet. That makes them unstoppable in ways the Council cannot predict." Myra added, "This is also a warning. If the Council escalates, humans across the world will respond together. We are a species that cannot be controlled by fear. We are unpredictable, and that is our advantage." As night fell over the rainforest, the scout ship returned to the Council fleet, reporting its failure. The Council leaders debated urgently. "This species is stronger than we imagined," said one. "They do not act with fear, only with determination." Another replied, "Yes, but we are the Council. We can overcome any obstacle if we plan carefully." Back on Earth, the outpost team celebrated quietly. They had survived their first confrontation. Leo smiled at Anna. "We did it," he said. "We actually made them retreat." Anna nodded. "Yes, but this is only the beginning. They will try again. We need to be ready." Rohan and Myra looked at the reports together. "This proves what I have been saying," Rohan said. "Humans are underestimated. And that is why we will win when the time comes. Courage, intelligence, and unity, that is the way we fight." The incident in the rainforest spread across Earth quickly. Humans everywhere felt inspired. Even ordinary citizens realized that their species could resist, adapt, and protect itself. Across continents, communities prepared for whatever the Council might try next. Humanity was learning to act together, to fight as one, and to defend the planet it called home. And far above, the Council watched in silence, slowly beginning to understand that Earth was unlike any world they had ever visited. Humanity was not just another species, it was a force, resilient and dangerous, that would not bow easily. The Council's fleet had gathered above Earth, their massive ships forming a circle in orbit. They believed that a show of force would remind humans of their place in the galaxy. Yet on Earth, General Rohan watched the fleet from the Rocky Mountains command center with a quiet confidence. "They think fear will make us surrender," he said. "They do not understand humans. We do not bow. We adapt, and we fight back." Myra stood beside him, reviewing communications from diplomats and scientists across the globe. "We cannot attack recklessly," she said. "We need strategy. Precision. If we make mistakes, they will destroy us. But if we are clever, we can show them that Earth is not weak." Rohan smiled faintly. "Cleverness is what we have in abundance. Prepare the systems." Across Earth, human engineers activated hidden defenses. Energy shields powered up in underground bunkers, satellite arrays scanned the Council ships for weak points, and specially designed drones were deployed in the skies. Humans had spent years quietly developing unconventional weapons, learning from every possible scenario. Today, those preparations would be tested. The first strike was subtle. Human satellites sent signals that interfered with the Council's communications. Ships that had been perfectly coordinated began to lag, their movements slightly off. The Council realized something was wrong. They had underestimated the human ability to adapt. At the command center, Rohan gave the order. "Target the propulsion systems on their outer fleet. Do not destroy them yet. Show them our reach." Human engineers initiated the plan. Tiny, precise attacks disabled multiple engines on Council ships, forcing them to drift slightly off course. The Council, watching from orbit, was shocked. Humans were not just defending, they were controlling the battlefield. Myra sent a direct message to the Council fleet. "You came to test us. You will see that Earth is not weak. Humans protect their planet with courage, intelligence, and unity. Do not mistake our restraint for fear." Some ships hesitated, uncertain of the humans' capabilities. Others attempted to retaliate, firing energy beams toward Earth's defenses. But humans were ready. Shield systems absorbed and redirected the energy safely, while drones executed evasive maneuvers that confused the Council. In the Sahara, ground teams used electromagnetic pulses to disable smaller ships attempting to land. These pulses were timed precisely, coordinated with satellite attacks. Humans had learned to fight not with brute force, but with strategy and clever coordination. Even though they were technologically behind, they created advantages that the Council had not predicted. Rohan's eyes scanned the holographic display. "Every move we make, they underestimate us. That is their mistake. They do not expect humans to fight with creativity. That is why we will succeed." Myra nodded. "We are showing them something they have never faced. A species that does not surrender, that fights for every inch of home." The Council fleet began to retreat slightly, regrouping to assess the unexpected resistance. Humans maintained pressure, demonstrating that they could strike at will, and that they could exploit weaknesses in the alien technology. Every action was precise, calculated, and unexpected. Even among the Council, doubt began to spread. "This species is different," one leader admitted. "They do not act like other worlds. They are clever, unpredictable, and united. If we continue to underestimate them, it could cost us." Rohan observed the Council's hesitation. "Now," he said, "we reinforce our message. Show them that Earth fights as one." Energy pulses, drone swarms, and shielded counterattacks formed a pattern that was both defensive and intimidating. The Council realized that Earth could not be conquered by force alone. Humans had turned their home into a fortress of intelligence, courage, and resolve. From orbit, the Council watched in silence as their plans unraveled. They had expected to intimidate humans, but instead, they were faced with coordinated resistance that defied logic. Humans had not only survived, they had gained the upper hand in strategy. Rohan turned to Myra. "They will not forget this day," he said. "They underestimated us, and that will be their lesson. Humans do not surrender easily. We fight, and we fight smart." Myra looked at the sky, where the Council ships hovered reluctantly. "This is only the beginning," she said. "They may still test us, but we have shown them our strength." Earth is not a world to be taken lightly. The Council fleet slowly began to pull back, their confidence shaken. Across Earth, news of the counterattack inspired people everywhere. Humanity had proven that even against far superior technology, courage, strategy, and unity could make a difference. Ordinary citizens, engineers, and soldiers alike understood that they were part of something greater, a species that refused to bow to any force. And in the quiet of the command center, Rohan and Myra watched the retreating ships. "They will return," Myra said. "Yes," Rohan replied, "but when they do, they will know one thing for certain. Humans are dangerous. Humans are clever. And humans protect their world like no other species in the galaxy." As night fell, Earth rested cautiously, but with pride. The first act of aggression had been met with human ingenuity and bravery. The galaxy had witnessed a species unlike any other, and the Council had learned that Earth was not a world to conquer lightly. Humanity had fought, adapted, and survived. The legend of their resilience had begun. Earth had learned quickly that the Galactic Council underestimated humans. Every test, every provocation, had only made humanity more determined. General Rohan and Myra knew that caution was necessary, but restraint had its limits. The Council's arrogance had to be met with a display of strength that would leave no doubt about humanity's power. In the command center beneath the Rocky Mountains, teams of engineers, scientists, and strategists worked tirelessly. Drones were fitted with advanced targeting systems, energy shields were reinforced, and satellites were programmed to coordinate a global network. For the first time, humans were ready not just to defend their planet, but to demonstrate their full capability. Rohan addressed the command center. "This is our moment. They have challenged us, tested us, and underestimated us. Today, we show the galaxy that Earth is not to be taken lightly. Every system, every defense, every human effort counts. We fight together, and we fight smart." Myra stood beside him. "We do not seek unnecessary conflict," she said. "But we will not bow. We will not surrender. Humanity's courage and intelligence will be clear for all to see." As the Council's fleet returned to orbit, expecting compliance, they were met with a network of human precision strikes. Satellites jammed communication channels, forcing the ships to operate independently. Energy pulses disrupted engines, slowing maneuvering systems and creating openings. At the same time, human drones, small and fast, targeted weak points in the Council's ships. On the ground, special teams activated electromagnetic devices that temporarily disabled ships attempting to land. These attacks were coordinated with movements in space, creating confusion among the Council's forces. Humans moved with speed and intelligence, using tactics no other species could have imagined. Rohan monitored the strikes. "They think they are controlling the battlefield," he said. "But we are the ones shaping it. They do not expect humans to fight with strategy and creativity." In the skies above New York, a Council ship attempted to fire on the city's defenses. Humans had anticipated the move. Drones swarmed the ship from multiple directions, forcing it to retreat. Energy shields absorbed blasts that would have destroyed ordinary buildings. Across Europe, similar scenarios unfolded. In deserts, mountains, and oceans, human teams executed coordinated attacks that left the Council reeling. The Council could not believe what they were witnessing. "This species is unpredictable," one leader admitted. "They strike with precision, yet they adapt instantly. Their courage and intelligence are unlike anything we have seen." Another responded, "Yes, but we are powerful. We can still control them if we regroup." Even as the Council struggled, humans continued to demonstrate control over the battlefield. Satellites created patterns that blocked scanning systems, energy fields protected cities, and drones disabled key equipment on ships attempting aggression. Humans had transformed Earth into a fortress that no alien power could easily penetrate. In a quiet moment, Myra spoke to Rohan. They are beginning to understand that humans are different. But will they respect it, or will they try again? Rohan's eyes scanned the holographic displays of the Council's retreating ships. They will try again, he said. But they will remember today. They will remember that humans do not surrender. They do not fear. And they fight with every ounce of intelligence, courage, and creativity they have. The retaliation was not just about survival, it was about sending a message. Humanity had shown that even when technology was inferior, strategy, unity, and determination could make any species a formidable opponent. Across the globe, people watched transmissions of the strikes, inspired by the display of human ingenuity. Ordinary citizens understood that they were part of a species that could stand against overwhelming power and prevail. In orbit, the Council convened an emergency meeting. Ships drifted silently, their leaders discussing options. "We misjudged them," said one. "We thought they were weak. We thought fear would control them. But they are strong, intelligent, and united. We must proceed carefully." Another leader, calmer than the rest, spoke. "Yes, but strength and intelligence combined with courage make them dangerous. If we push too far, we risk losing control entirely. Perhaps it is time to reconsider our approach." On Earth, the night sky was filled with the faint glow of returning drones. Humans had not destroyed the Council's fleet, but they had demonstrated capability beyond expectation. Humanity's retaliation had stunned the Council into silence, showing that Earth was not a world to conquer, but a force to respect. Rohan turned to Myra. "They will not forget today," he said. "They came thinking we were weak. Now, they know the truth. Humanity fights for its home. Humanity fights together. And humanity never surrenders." Myra nodded. "This is only the beginning. But for now, we have proven ourselves. The galaxy has learned a lesson: Earth is not a planet to underestimate." Across the planet, people celebrated quietly, not in arrogance, but in pride. Humans had faced a challenge that no other species could have met with such resilience. The Council had expected compliance, but humans had responded with strategy, courage, and unity. As the world rested, the message was clear. Humanity had survived its first great test. And the legend of Earth's strength and the determination of its people was only beginning to spread across the stars. The Galactic Council was in turmoil. Ships hovered silently above Earth, their leaders communicating through a network of messages, voices, and images. The Council had never faced a species so fearless, clever, and united. Some argued that Earth should be destroyed before it became too dangerous. Others, shocked by humanity's resilience, suggested alliances instead. In the largest Council ship, the tall, glowing leader spoke. "They are not like any species we have known. Their strategy is intelligent, their courage remarkable. If we push too hard, we may face consequences we cannot control." Another, darker figure responded sharply. "They are still primitive in technology. We can overwhelm them if we act decisively. Do not let admiration cloud judgment." Back on Earth, General Rohan and Myra monitored the Council's movements and communications. The planet was quiet now, but they knew the tension above was growing. "They are arguing," Myra said. "Some want to destroy us, some want to respect us. This gives us an opportunity." Rohan nodded. "Yes. Humanity must show them that aggression will not succeed. But we must also extend a hand to those who are willing to understand. Strategy is not only about defense, it is also about diplomacy. We can turn their respect into something permanent." Myra sent a carefully worded message to the Council. "Earth does not seek conflict. Humanity values life, knowledge, and cooperation. But any attempt to control, harm, or take our resources will be met with decisive defense. We ask the Council to respect our sovereignty and acknowledge our unity." The Council received the message in silence. Some leaders were impressed by the courage and clarity. One said, "They speak boldly, yet logically. They are unlike any other species. Perhaps we underestimated them entirely." Another, however, remained stubborn. "Boldness is dangerous. It does not replace weakness. We must proceed carefully." Rohan turned to Myra. "This is our chance to set the terms. The galaxy will see that humans do not bow to threats, but humans also negotiate with intelligence and respect. We are a species that others can admire or fear but never ignore." Meanwhile, human engineers continued to strengthen Earth's defenses. Satellites, drones, and energy shields were active, ready to respond instantly to any attack. Ground teams practiced rapid deployment strategies, while scientists monitored the Council's ships, studying every movement and pattern. Humans combined technology, creativity, and courage in ways the Council could not predict. Myra spoke with diplomats from other civilizations, those who had observed the Council's interactions with Earth. Many were surprised by human bravery. "They do not act with fear or hesitation," one diplomat said. "They are united and determined. They have something that cannot be measured, spirit and ingenuity." The Council debated their next move. The more aggressive factions wanted to push for control over Earth's resources, believing humans would eventually submit. The more cautious factions argued that Earth should be respected, and humanity could become a valued ally. Tension filled the Council's halls, and the decision remained unresolved. Rohan and Myra watched the debate from afar. "They are uncertain," Myra said. "That is our advantage. They do not know what humans are capable of. They may try to push us, but any misstep will strengthen our position." Rohan smiled. "Exactly. Humans have survived every challenge thrown at them. Courage, intelligence, unity, that is how we endure. And today, we also show that we can assert ourselves diplomatically. The Council must learn that humans are not just warriors but thinkers and leaders." On Earth, ordinary citizens began to feel the effect of humanity's stance. People in cities, towns, and villages prepared for any eventuality but also celebrated the courage of their species. Schools held discussions about unity, bravery, and human potential. Scientists explained strategy, engineers shared innovations, and families felt pride in belonging to a species capable of such strength. Myra sent another message to the Council, carefully balancing warning with diplomacy. "We ask the Council to acknowledge that Earth is independent. Aggression will be met with resistance. Respect for humanity will allow cooperation. We hope the Council chooses wisely." Some Council leaders hesitated, impressed by the clarity and courage. Others remained stubborn, unwilling to abandon old assumptions. The debate continued, but one thing was clear: Earth had changed the Council's perception forever. Humanity was no longer a primitive species to be tested. Humans were a force, clever and united, worthy of both caution and respect. Rohan looked at Myra. "This is the first victory of many. They have begun to see us as equals in courage and intellect. The galaxy will not forget Earth's message: humans do not surrender, humans do not fear, and humans protect their own." Myra nodded, feeling the weight of the moment. "We have won respect without firing a single shot today. But the lesson is clear: they must understand humanity fully. We are strong, united, and capable of anything necessary to defend our world." And so, Earth waited patiently. The Council's debate continued above, while humanity demonstrated the combination of intelligence, courage, and diplomacy that had always made them unique. The galaxy was learning that humans were a species that could survive, adapt, and assert themselves. Respect had been earned through bravery, strategy, and the courage to stand united. The legend of Earth's strength was spreading, even among the Council's own ranks. Humanity was no longer underestimated. And in the quiet of the command center, Rohan and Myra prepared for the future, knowing that humans had secured a place in the galaxy not through fear, but through courage, intelligence, and unity. The Galactic Council gathered once more above Earth, this time in silence. The debates, the tests, and the provocations had all led to one undeniable truth: humans were unlike any species they had encountered. Courage, intelligence, and unity combined in ways that could not be predicted or controlled. On Earth, General Rohan and Myra watched the Council fleet from the command center. "They are quiet," Myra said. "It feels different." "They are listening." Rohan nodded. "Yes. They have seen what humans can do. They have seen our strategy, our courage, our unity. They understand that Earth cannot be subdued. Today, they respect us even if they do not say it aloud." The Council had called an emergency session in orbit. Leaders from countless worlds debated in hushed tones. "This species is unpredictable," one said. "They strike with intelligence, yet they fight with passion. They are dangerous." Another leader countered, "Yes, but dangerous in a way that earns admiration. Their courage and ingenuity cannot be ignored. Perhaps cooperation is wiser than conquest." The debate ended with a decision none had expected. The Council would withdraw most of its fleet and leave Earth's sovereignty intact. They would maintain observation from a distance, respecting humanity's independence. The lesson had been learned: Earth was a planet to be approached with caution, not arrogance. Back on Earth, humans noticed the subtle withdrawal of alien activity. Satellites that had tracked Council movements reported ships leaving orbit. In cities, towns, and villages, people felt a mix of relief and pride. Humanity had survived the greatest test it had ever faced. Rohan and Myra stood on a ridge overlooking one of the landing sites. The last of the Council ships shimmered against the sky before drifting away. "They will remember us," Rohan said. "They will remember that humans are clever, united, and fearless. They will think twice before challenging us again." Myra smiled. "We did not just survive. We earned respect. And that respect will shape the way the galaxy sees humanity from now on." The Council's departure was quiet, almost ceremonial. They did not destroy, they did not dominate, and they did not demand. They had learned that aggression against humans was not an option. Humanity's courage and ingenuity had set a new standard in the galaxy. On Earth, celebrations were calm but widespread. People did not cheer recklessly. Instead, they shared stories of bravery, strategy, and unity. Soldiers, engineers, scientists, and ordinary citizens understood that this victory was a collective achievement. Every human had contributed in some way, whether directly in defense or through support and innovation. Rohan addressed the command center one last time before the Council left completely. "Today, we have proven something important. Humanity cannot be underestimated. We do not rely only on technology or power. We rely on intelligence, courage, and unity. That is our real strength." Myra added, "We have shown that humans can negotiate, defend, and assert themselves without unnecessary violence. Respect is earned through strategy and bravery, not fear. The galaxy will see that Earth is not to be trifled with." Across the world, people reflected on the lessons learned. Communities strengthened local defenses, scientists continued to innovate, and children listened to stories of the recent events. Humans had discovered a new level of confidence, understanding that their potential extended beyond Earth. The species had survived a challenge no one had thought possible, and the galaxy had taken notice. Even in distant star systems, observers shared reports of Earth's resilience. Humanity's courage and ingenuity were being studied, admired, and respected. Other civilizations began to reconsider old assumptions about humans, realizing that Earth was not merely a small, weak world. It was home to a species that could rise to any challenge, fight intelligently, and defend its people and planet with unmatched determination. As night fell over Earth, Rohan and Myra walked through the command center's observation deck. The sky was clear, filled with stars, and the Council ships were gone. This is the beginning of a new era, Myra said quietly. The galaxy has seen what humans are capable of. They will think differently about us from now on. Rohan nodded. Yes. Humanity will continue to grow, learn, and protect its home. And the galaxy will respect us because we have earned it not by fear, but by courage, intelligence, and unity. The wind swept across the ridge as they looked toward the horizon. Earth had survived, and humans had proven themselves. The council had left in silent respect, stunned by the combination of determination and cleverness that no one had expected. Humanity's place in the galaxy was no longer uncertain. In the quiet moments that followed, Rohan and Myra understood the significance of what had happened. Earth had not only defended itself, it had sent a message to the stars. Humans were a force to be reckoned with. They would survive, adapt, and fight for their world with unmatched determination. The galaxy had witnessed the beginning of a legend, humanity, strong, clever, and united, standing proudly among the stars. And so, under the starlit sky, Earth rested, ready for the future, and the council departed, forever changed by the strength of one planet and the courage of its people. Humanity had won respect, not through conquest, but through bravery, intelligence, and unity. The legend of Earth's resilience had begun, and it would echo across the galaxy for generations to come.